Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews from The Nation. Oh, wow. We don't have front page again now. For the there's
over 1
to
week
take
now.
care. President Tinubu commissions International Conference Center, Abuja today. That is what has covered The Nation. I'm sure you people took stories from inside.
I'm sure he has better things to do with Nigeria's money.
As in the kind of adverts we've been seeing. No. Anyway, which stories do we have in The Nation?
The federal government seeks new financing model to meet fish production.
Interesting.
So the federal government has said it's exploring new financing model and collaboration with development partners, including food and agriculture organization and financial institutions to enhance the capacity of fish farming in fish farmers in Nigeria. And we are supposed to meet a particular target, yearly target of 3 million metric tons. That's the demand. So in order to meet this, the federal government is saying they have to have collaborative efforts to make sure that fish farming is a business that is here to stay. Unofficial source has it that an estimated 300,000 metric tons of farmed fish are produced in Nigeria annually. And me, I'm a rivers woman, and that is our business. So they're saying, I think what they're doing is fish cultivation, like all those catfish farming and all that. Yeah, but I think they should also explore other means of getting fish, especially from the big seas. Security and all that, that's something they should look forward to. So government is collaborating with other bodies to make sure that they meet the demand for the year.
So this one, we're struggling to meet internal demand. This story is about a little bit about exporting. So they said why shipping lines dump empty containers within Nigeria, because it is more expensive to return the containers to their countries of where they came from. So because we import a lot of products into Nigeria, the products come into Nigeria, we empty the containers and we do not have enough things to export. So Sea Empowerment Research Center has said that what is left in Nigeria is averagely like 65,000 to 100,000 20-foot containers littering the terminals across the country, because it's not worth it for them to take it back. Carrying empty container back will cost between $2,000 to $4,000. That is excluding the other costs that come for lifting and all of that, and yet we're carrying it out empty. In other countries, they don't have to deal with things like this because they have things to export. When they import things, they put things inside and take back. But because it doesn't cost, it's expensive to just, why would I carry empty container back to the country? So they just dump it in Nigeria, and they said it will constitute not even just major health hazard, environmental hazard, and it will also clog the port infrastructure. So we now have it everywhere. Some people are innovatively using it to build houses and all of that, but still that's not meant to solve our problem. Long-term problem is for us to have enough to export so that there will be no deficit in
containers going back.
Do you know how much they sell those containers?
It's a lot of money.
If you want to buy a container, they are very expensive.
For stores.
But so for transportation, because I tried buying 20 and it was about 2 to 3 million 2 years ago. It was mainly the transport, the moving it from
place to place.
Point A to B.
No, the containers are quite expensive.
They are quite, because I use one as a dustbin outside Shrine. I knew how much it cost me then to buy it, not talk of what it is now. And you know, Theo uses them to build houses. And
even stores.
It's a lot.
I took the Abacha's wife.
I knew you would take it.
She's talking about her husband, who they celebrated his 27 years of death yesterday. So she came on TVC Continental and she talked about her husband, saying he didn't loot anything, that the money that they say he looted, that they left it was here when he died. Where did they put it? They cleared the money. Where is it? That every day they were saying Abacha loot. That is not true. That he had kept money for Nigeria, and they would just be saying Abacha loot. She said he didn't annul the June 12th. It wasn't the one in power now. So why are they saying
the one that
they rewriting history?
Annulled. the June 12 election, are they saying that he was more powerful than the president that was president?
Yeah.
Are they saying, so she named a lot of people that, are they saying he was more powerful than that? Then her husband must be the greatest if her husband was more powerful than all these people.
Yeah.
So,
And they're
I
still
mean,
talking about him.
and that you are still talking about him 27
After.
And you see, I just find that, because I was watching one show on this morning, I can't remember the name of that general who spoke for Abacha, and he said, it is only because he died that they are all talking about him.
It's easier
Like
to
that.
just say
Yeah.
Abacha's rich. It's easier to
He's
just
not there to defend himself.
He's not
now.
there to defend himself. He said, if he was alive, that they don't burn the person that will come and be talking. And it is the truth. They are using him as a scapegoat. And she even said it's scapegoatism. She said, because he's not here, because all the other ones, who they call their name?
Honestly, because they are alive
We don't
now.
even get
They
to
are
know.
alive now, so nobody they call
30
their
years
name.
after, we will
Yeah.
know.
So I took
Let one die like this. Everybody will just he did
He's
this.
the one,
Why you alive? They will be celebrating you.
Yeah.
They will go for your book launch.
Why
They
you
will
have
do
to move
everything.
on?
Pay
It's
front
you.
pages.
Like just
So-
threw a sub.
I'm telling you, no fewer than 10,000 midwives and nurses from the southeast yesterday received professional kits from the First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu under the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI. The equipment were distributed to beneficiaries who cut across the 5 states of Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo as part of efforts to reduce infant and maternal mortality and morbidity in the country. So they said also 1,500 Enugu petty traders got 100 million from the wife of Enugu State Governor, Mrs. Nkechinyere Mba, to also boost their trade. So Senator Tinubu had distributed the kits, including scrubs and crocs, to the women at the International Conference Center, ICC, Enugu, and he explained that 60,000 of such tools had been distributed in the other 5 geopolitical zones. He said the goal is to provide midwives with the right equipment and encourage them in their work and improve healthcare delivery. We need to see a lot more of this, yes, across the geopolitical zones. That's a good one. Let's move on now to the Punch. Let me check the time we have, okay? The headlines: defection, Hurricane Tinubu sweeps 12 more senators and reps. Obi sparks firestorm over Tinubu's subsidy figures. Tears, joy as Nigerian pilgrims depart Saudi after Hajj. We'll take a story and do a short break. Who's ready to go in the Punch?
Okay, so I have the story about town planners advocating for policies to curb plastic pollution. So the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners has called on the federal government to implement a policy intervention, and the goal of the policy intervention is to curb plastic pollutions in the country. They made this call at the global community celebrating the World Environment Day. The statement was signed by the National Public Relations Secretary, and they said that whose name is Dr. Chimbe. He said he lamented that despite all the conversations regarding this, it hasn't been dealt with. He said serious negative impact of plastic pollution is ongoing, and that is affecting the water resources, issues that cannot, it requires urgent attention, and we're not doing enough to work on it. So he listed all the SDG goals that is impacting on, and then he spoke about the fact that Africa's cities have far exceeded the capacity of plastics that they should have in any form, and yet we're bringing in more and dumping them inappropriately. So we have to deal with this challenge, and I can't support it more.
Okay, let's take a short break here. When we come back, we'll continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.